Alright, let's kick things off with an absolute must-see Christ the Redeemer. You know, the iconic statue perched high above Rio de Janeiro, standing tall on Corcovado Mountain. This statue is like a beacon of hope and a symbol of Brazil itself. I mean, can you imagine anything more amazing than looking out over Rio with open arms? And speaking of amazing, the views from up there are just breathtaking. You can see Sugarloaf Mountain, Copacabana Beach, the whole city sprawling out before you like a beautiful, colorful tapestry. Now here's a little tip from Cody. He says the best time to go is early in the morning or late in the afternoon. Avoid those midday crowds and you can snag some truly spectacular photos. Oh, and speaking of photos, be sure to get that classic shot with Christ the Redeemer behind you. It's like the rule of visiting Rio, right? Just imagine, you're standing there, arms outstretched, feeling the warm Brazilian sun on your face. Pure magic. Next up, we're diving headfirst into the Amazon rainforest. Hold on tight, folks. This is where things get wild. The Amazon is so vast, so full of life, it's almost impossible to describe. It's like stepping into another world, a world teeming with incredible creatures and lush greenery. We're talking monkeys swinging through the trees, colorful parrots squawking overhead, and maybe even a glimpse of the elusive jaguar if you're lucky. Now, Cody's a big fan of adventure, so he recommends taking a guided tour through the rainforest. You can explore the jungle by boat, hike through the undergrowth, and even spend a night in a jungle lodge. How cool is that? And listen, if you're really brave, you could try your hand at piranha fishing. Don't worry, they're smaller than you think, I hope. Just remember, the Amazon is a precious ecosystem, so it's important to be respectful and travel responsibly. All right, let's be honest, no trip to Brazil is complete without a little beach time, right? And when it comes to beaches, Copacabana and Ipanema are the queens of the coast. Copacabana is the ultimate beach icon, with its bustling promenade, golden sands, and that famous wave pattern on the sidewalks. I can just picture Cody sipping on a coconut, working on his tan, and soaking up that electric atmosphere. And speaking of electric, the energy on Copacabana is contagious. You've got beach volleyball games going on, vendors selling everything from sunscreen to caipirinhas, and music filling the air. Now, if you're looking for something a little more laid back, Ipanema is the perfect spot. It's a little more upscale, with trendy boutiques and cafes lining the streets, but the beach itself is just as beautiful. You can relax on the sand, take a dip in the ocean, or maybe even try your hand at surfing. And for all my photographers out there, be sure to catch the sunset over Ipanema. It's truly spectacular. Okay, folks, get ready to party because Sao Paulo is calling. This city knows how to have a good time, and Cody, with his adventurous spirit, is ready to hit the town. From trendy rooftop bars with panoramic city views to underground clubs pulsing with the latest beats, Sao Paulo has something for everyone. Picture this. You're dressed to impress, sipping on a caipirinha, and the music is moving through you. The energy is electric, and you find yourself swept away by the rhythm of the night. Whether you're into samba, forró, electronic music, or anything in between, you'll find it in Sao Paulo. And trust me, the Brazilians know how to dance. Don't be shy, jump in and let loose. And hey, if you want to experience the local culture, be sure to check out a traditional samba show. The costumes, the music, the passion, it's an experience you won't forget. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to witness something truly awe-inspiring. Iguazu Falls. Imagine this. You're standing on a platform, mist swirling around you, and before you lies a curtain of water so vast, so powerful, it takes your breath away. Iguazu Falls isn't just one waterfall, it's a complex of over 275 waterfalls cascading over 1.7 miles. It's like Mother Nature decided to show off, and let me tell you, it's a sight you'll never forget. Now, Cody's a big fan of getting up close and personal with nature, so he recommends taking a boat tour to the base of the falls. You'll feel the spray on your face, hear the thunderous roar of the water, and get a whole new perspective on this natural wonder. And if you're feeling adventurous, you can even go ziplining over the falls. Talk about an adrenaline rush. Just be prepared to get wet, but hey, that's all part of the fun, right? Get ready to step back in time, because we're heading to Salvador, a city bursting with history, culture, and that irresistible Brazilian charm. This is where it all began, folks. Salvador was Brazil's first capital, and you can feel the history in the cobblestone streets, colonial architecture, and vibrant Afro-Brazilian culture. Cody loves to explore, so he'd be right at home wandering through the Pelourinho, the historic district, soaking up the atmosphere. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and you'll find colorful buildings, churches dating back to the 17th century, and lively squares filled with music and dancing. And speaking of music, Salvador is the birthplace of samba. You'll hear it everywhere you go, and it's impossible not to tap your feet along. Be sure to try the local cuisine too. Acarajé, a black-eyed pea fritter, is a must-try. Trust me, your taste buds will thank you. Buckle up, everyone, because we're about to enter a world of architectural wonder. That's right, we're heading to Brasília, the capital city of Brazil. Now, Brasília is a city like no other. Designed by the renowned architect Oscar Niemeyer, it's a masterpiece of modernist architecture. Think bold lines, futuristic buildings, and a city planned down to the last detail. I can just picture Cody strolling through the Plaza of the Three Powers, admiring the unique designs of the Presidential Palace, the Supreme Federal Court, and the National Congress Building. And speaking of unique, don't miss the Cathedral of Brasília. It's like stepping into a giant work of art, with its stained glass windows casting a kaleidoscope of colors across the interior. Brasília is a city that will make you think, make you wonder, and make you appreciate the power of human creativity. Chapter 8. Brazilian Carnival. The greatest party on earth. Get ready to party, because it's carnival time, baby. And when it comes to carnival, no one does it quite like Brazil. Imagine a kaleidoscope of colors, a sea of smiling faces, and a contagious energy that sweeps you off your feet. That's Brazilian Carnival. From the elaborate floats to the dazzling costumes, to the pulsating music and the endless dancing, Carnival is a celebration of life itself. Cody would be right in the thick of it, dancing in the streets with the locals, catching beads thrown from the floats, and enjoying the infectious energy. Now, Rio de Janeiro is known for having the biggest and most famous carnival celebrations, but cities all over Brazil come alive during this time. If you're planning a trip to Brazil, try to coincide it with Carnival if you can. It's an experience you'll never forget. Chapter 9. Brazilian Cuisine, a feast for your senses. All right, folks, get ready to tantalize your taste buds because we're about to dive into the delicious world of Brazilian cuisine. From savory stews to cheesy bread to refreshing fruit juices and decadent desserts, Brazilian food is a celebration of flavor and fresh ingredients. Now, Cody's a big fan of trying new things, so he wouldn't hesitate to dig into a plate of feijoada, the national dish of Brazil. It's a hearty black bean stew with pork, beef, and spices, and it's absolutely delicious. And speaking of delicious, you can't leave Brazil without trying pão de queijo, which are little cheesy bread rolls that are light, fluffy, and oh so addictive. And for dessert, brigadeiro, of course. These little chocolate truffles are like bites of heaven, and they're sure to satisfy your sweet tooth. Chapter 10. The Pantanal, a wildlife wonderland. Get ready for an adventure because we're heading to the Pantanal, the world's largest tropical wetland. Now, if you're a wildlife enthusiast, this is the place for you. Imagine this. You're gliding along the river in a canoe, the sun warm on your face, and all around you, animals roam free. The Pantanal is home to an incredible array of wildlife, including jaguars, giant anteaters, capuchin monkeys, caiman, and over 650 species of birds. It's a photographer's dream and a nature lover's paradise. Cody, being the adventurer that he is, would definitely want to go on a guided horseback riding tour through the wetlands. It's a great way to see the wildlife up close and experience the beauty of the Pantanal firsthand. And if you're lucky, you might even spot a jaguar lounging in the shade, or a family of giant otters playing in the water. Thanks for exploring Brazil. Well, that was a whirlwind adventure. I hope you enjoyed our virtual trip to Brazil as much as I did. If you're planning a trip to Brazil, I hope this video gave you some inspiration, and maybe even a few ideas for your itinerary. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to our channel for more travel tips and fun adventures. See you in the next video.